It is the eve of inauguration here in Nigeria. What that means is, in less than 24 hours, the incumbent government will cease to exist and a new government will begin. What is the next 8 years going to be like? Is it going to be like whatever the past 8 years has been, or is it going to be way, way better? I mean, there are a whole lot of questions on the minds of Nigerians. We have high hopes, we have high expectations, we have fears that are valid. I mean, this is totally normal at every inauguration because then we do not know what is to come. But wait, I cannot be the only person that is thinking this thing. But it is what it is, I guess. Now, before we usher in the new government, I would like to take your minds down memory lane to our past presidents and their numerous achievements while in office. From 1999, when we started democracy, to date. So those of you who were already voting at that time, sit back gently and see what you voted for. For the Gen Z generation, get your paper and pen and take notes so that when it is your turn, you will do way better than the present government or the past governments have even done. Capish? Ajome. President Olusegun Matthew Okikiola Ogunboye Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR. He was born on 5th March 1937 in Ibogun, Olaogun, Ogun State. This is not my language, so if I wound it, I beg, no vex. I'm sorry to the Yorubas. Just manage my pronunciation. He was born in Ogun State to Mr. Amos Adigun and Mrs. Ashabi Obasanjo. President Olusegun was a retired military officer who served as head of state from 1976 to 1979. He is the first democratically elected president of Nigeria from 1999 to 2007. Wait. Hear that again. He is the first democratically elected president of Nigeria from 1999 to 2007. Ebela baby. As president, the following are some of his achievements, emphasis on some. Under his administration, major roads were constructed while some were rehabilitated across the country. He was able to reduce corruption in the police force. He introduced important agencies such as the EFCC, Economic Financial Crimes Commission. He also introduced the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, which is ICPC, to control corruption among top government officials. He brought in mobile communication for the first time. I am trying to imagine what my life would have been like without a phone. No. I don't even want to imagine it. President Olusegun Obasanjo brought in mobile communication for the first time. This man deserves a whole lot. He introduced NAFDAC, National Agency for Food Drugs Administration Control, to control drug importation and marketing of fake and substandard drugs. He introduced so many poverty alleviation programs to help eradicate poverty. He was a good farmer, a good husband. He is revered, a no-nonsense man, as so many persons have described him, a gentleman par excellence, a leader to the core. He was married to Mrs. Stella Obasanjo of blessed memory. Beautiful woman. And to add, he had a 21-year military career. Wow, this is news to me. So this is some of the achievements of our past presidents. President Olusegun Obasanjo. President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. He was born on the 16th of August 1951 into a titled Fulani family in Katsina State. To Baba Musa Yar'Adua and Hajia Aya Dada. Those are his parents. He was a graduate of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Before venturing into politics, he was a lecturer at the College of Arts, Science and Technology in Zaria, Kaduna State, between 1976 to 1979. He was also governor of Katsina State from 1999 to 2007. He was married to Hajia Turai Umaru Yaradua, a very peaceful man who was loved by all, as he was often described. Sadly, he died on 5th May 2010. May his gentle and beautiful soul find rest. Upon assuming office as president in 2007, he unveiled a 7-point agenda. I think I remember this very clearly because then a song was made out of it. So the 7-point agenda was: number 1, critical infrastructural developments in power, energy, and transportation. Number 2 was focus on developmental issues in the Niger Delta. Number 3, wealth creation. Number 4, human capital development. Number 5, review of land tenure regulations. Number 6, security. Number 7, food security. As president, the following are some of his achievements while in office. The first is he reduced the price of petrol from 75 naira to 65 naira. The good old days. He approved the dredging of the river Niger. He granted amnesty to Niger Delta militants. He implemented the 18,000 naira minimum wage. He saw to the construction of the Abuja-Kaduna Rail, the Abuja Metro Line, the Kaduna-Abuja Railway. I think I've been fortunate enough to have used 2 of these services, and it's good. He pioneered the policy of returning unspent funds to the National Treasury at the end of the fiscal year. Good. He was an exceptional man. He was also the first president to declare his assets before assuming office. He was indeed an amazing man. These are some of his achievements that I could capture. There are many more out there. President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR. He was born on 20th November 1957 in Otuoke, Ogbia, local government of Bayelsa State, to Mr. Lawrence and Mrs. Eunice Ayi Jonathan. He was a graduate of the University of Port Harcourt. Before venturing into politics, he was a lecturer at Rivers State College of Education. He was Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State under Governor Dipriye until December 12, 2005, when he was sworn in as governor of the state. In 2007, May 29, he was sworn in as Vice President under President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. In 2010, May 5th, he was sworn in as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces following the death of President Musa Umaru Yar'Adua. He will forever be commended for his statesmanship with the following words, and I quote: "Nobody's political ambition is worth the blood of any Nigerian." What a peaceful man. He was married to Dame Patience Jonathan. I really do miss her. Wonderful lady, amazing first lady she was. As president, here are some of his achievements in office. Number 1, he built and commissioned 9 federal universities across the country. They are Federal University, Dutse, Jigawa State; Federal University, Katsina State; Federal University, Gombe State; Federal University, Lafia, Nasarawa State; Federal University, Lokoja, Kogi State; Federal University, Ndufualike, Ebonyi State, which is now known as Alex Ekweme Federal University; Federal University, Otuoke, Bayelsa State; Federal University, Oye Ekiti in Ekiti State; and lastly, Federal University, Wukari, Taraba State. Under him, Nigeria became the world's largest producers of cassava. His administration introduced the Almajiri system of education in the academically disadvantaged parts of northern Nigeria. There was also the construction and beautification of many federal roads in the country. That is the Lagos Benin Expressway, the Abuja Lokoja Expressway, the Enugu Abakaliki Expressway, Onisha Owerri Highway, Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway, and he also started the construction of the second Niger Bridge between Onisha and Asaba. There's also the remodeling and standardization of airports across the country. Under his administration, women in politics were given more prominent roles. His administration saw to the introduction of the cashless systems to reduce the volume of physical cash in circulation. Under him, Innoson Motors began the sale of made-in-Nigeria cars and SUVs. Under President Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria rebased its GDP for the first time in over a decade to become the largest economy in Africa. These are some of his achievements as president. He did a whole lot of other things, but these are the few that I was able to capture. President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. He was born on 17th December 1942 in Daura, Katsina State, to Baba Adamu and Hajia Zuleha Buhari. He was raised by his mother following the demise of his father at a very tender age. Oh, this is so sad. He is married to Mrs. Aisha Halilu Buhari. He joined the Nigerian Army in 1961 when he was admitted to the Nigerian Military Training College, Kaduna. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant in 1963. He had a fantastic military career and was head of state between 1983 to 1985. He contested at 3 presidential elections before he emerged winner in 2015. Wow, if consistency were a person, it would be him. As president, these are some of his achievements. The completion of 12 dams in Nigeria in a bid to maximize full utilization of dam infrastructure. The following dams are Kashimbila Multipurpose Dam, Ogwashiuku Multipurpose Dam, Adada Multipurpose Dam, Sulma Earth Dam, Gimi Earth Dam, Amla Otupu Dam, Amauzari Earth Dam, Ibiono Ibom Dam, Gadao Lafia Zgao Dam, Ladres Small Earth Dam, and Kampeomi Dam. There's Cargo Dam. I hope I am pronouncing the names very correctly. If I am not, sorry. I am not from these places that I have just mentioned, so I may not be able to pronounce it the right way in their local tongue. So please, but these are the dams that he completed while in office. Also under him, the armed forces of Nigeria set up various operations across the country to enhance security, namely Operation Hadinkai, Operation Delta Safe, Operation Hadarindaji, Operation Safe Haven, Operation Wild Stroke, Operation Awase or Awashe, I don't know, Operation Thunder Strike, Operation Wild Punch. He also completed and commissioned the Lagos-Ibadan Rail. The Lagos-Ibadan Rail line and purchased 64 coaches. He also commissioned the Abuja-Kaduna Rail and the completion of the 327 kilometers Itakpe-Warri Standard Gauge Rail. He commissioned the second Niger Bridge, the Loko Oweto Bridge across River Benue to Nasarawa, the Ikom Bridge, the Kanu Kaduna Dual Carriage Expressway. His administration listed the takeoff of the Nigerian Maritime University in Okerenkoko, Delta State, which was granted approval in January 2018 by the NUC. He signed the Ajaokuta Kaduna Kanu gas project. So for this, I am going to quote him. I'll quote directly. So for the Armed Forces of Nigeria, the presidency stated that hundreds of battle tanks, minesweepers, armored fighting vehicles, mountain climber bikes, infantry fighting vehicles, MRAPs, light tanks, and several others, 700 brand new troop carrying vehicles that were all assembled in Nigeria was given to the armed forces. For the Navy, it stated that more than 400 new platforms are now available, including 200 riverine patrol boats, 114 rigid hull inflatable boats, 22 fast attack boats, 14 unmanned aerial vehicles, 4 barges, 4 helicopters, amongst other things. I'm trying to imagine all of these things because I do not even know what some of them are. It is very difficult. So for the Air Force, they were given 38 brand new aircraft, or 38 brand new aircrafts were procured, 10 Super Mushak, 5 M135 helicopters, 2 Bell helicopters, 12 A29 Tucano, 4 Augusta, 3 JF-17 Thunder, and they are also expecting 12 new attack helicopters and 24 M346 fighter attack aircrafts. Just like I said, it's very difficult for me to imagine all of these things. Why? Because I have no idea what they even look like. But he did all of this for the military. From the look of things, he beefed up security. He was bent on bringing insecurity to the barest minimum. So these are some of the achievements I could capture. Okay, so having gone through the achievements of our past presidents, something stood out for me. I mean, it is entirely my opinion. I stand corrected though. I'm just going to point out some things I felt were more glaring than others. It's not as if the person did not work. They all worked and did so well. But it just felt that they did more in these areas. Now, for the Buhari administration, I feel there were a whole lot of things he did. Yes, there were a whole lot of projects he commissioned. Like I said, what stood out for me in his administration is the fact that he paid so much attention to the armed forces of Nigeria. And I can understand that because of the security threats that we have been facing for many years. I mean, so it will be wise to equip the armed forces of Nigeria very well. I mean, if the country is protected and safe, the citizens by extension are safe too, right? Okay, so maybe as an army general, I mean, he would know better about security, right? So for me, I feel he paid a whole lot of attention to the armed forces of Nigeria, which is a good thing. He equips the military to standard. I like to believe, because when I was going through my research, the things that I was reading, in fact, I did not. At some point, I felt like the numbers were exaggerated, but I don't think the numbers were exaggerated because I even watched it on TV safe. So I don't think the numbers were exaggerated. Now for the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration, I feel he paid more attention. He did a whole lot of other things. There were so many other things he did that I did not even capture in this video. But like I said, some areas stood out for me. You are entitled to your own opinion. Some other areas may have stood out for you, but for me, these are the areas that stood out for me. For the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration, I feel he paid more attention to education. He did so much in the educational sector. I'm not saying he did not do well in other areas. I'm just saying that whenever I think about him, the first thing that comes to my mind is education, which is a very good thing. He did so much in the educational sector. I mean, what would those coming from a former lecturer? Yes, he used to be a lecturer, so of course he would pay more attention to education. Aside the fact that he worked so well in other areas. For Obasanjo's regime, I feel he had foresight. He was planning for the future. So he was trying to set the future for us. I mean, see, he came up with he established NAFDAC, he established EFCC, ICPC, and a whole lot of other things that he did to help address corrupt politicians. Imagine we did not have all those agencies. Let me not say what is on my mind though. And then he brought in telecommunications. I mean, sometimes I sit there and I think about the whole thing. What would my life have been like just sitting in one place and not being able to even make this video? Because then I don't have a phone. What would it have been like just sitting in one place and not being able to communicate with somebody that I really want to talk to, that I am not in the same physical space with? it would have been madness. So I don't even want to imagine it. So he focused on those areas, and food security as well. For Yaradua, God rest his soul, he was such a sweet man. Like his own focus just cut across a whole lot of aspects: security, food security, ensuring that some of this what do I call it, the plans that had been put in place by his predecessor, that is Obasanjo, to catch corrupt officials, he was able to enforce a whole lot of them. He did not stay long in office. He lasted just 3 years in office. Just imagine he had lived longer than that. I'm sure he would have done way better than he did in the 3 years. Even in the 3 years, he still made an impact. God rest his soul. Thank you so much for watching this video, and you can leave your views in the comment section. I'll be very happy to hear from you. Tell me what you think about some of these achievements. Like I said, I did not capture all the achievements of this past president. I just pinched some, because if I decide to go into details, this video is going to be too long, and we're all here in Nigeria, Abby, and I'm sure you have seen some of the things that I did not mention, so there's no point mentioning everything. So I'd like to hear your views. I'd like to hear what you think. You can leave your comments in the comment section, and thank you for watching. Please share the video, and in the spirit of inauguration, have a good next 8 years, if that's okay. Bye.